Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force. Welcome to Sunday, and welcome to what's going to be a kind of strange event video, I guess, because things are really being upended in terms of what we normally used to do here on the Boilon channel, and the way that events are going to be running in the future, starting with this week with the new leaderboard event, Stolen Thunder, but also it's going to be the start of the Age of Annihilus and the Quasar monthly milestones, these kinds of things. The Harbinger is what it's called if you've been keeping up with the blog, and also my data mines. We're going to be talking about this. We're going to take a brief look at the event that's going to be starting tomorrow, Monday, and what it's going to involve. So, if you're ready to go, everybody, let's go. Okay, so really quickly here, I just want to do a quick rundown of some of the things that were on the blog post from Friday. It was a pretty boring kind of blog. I mean, you don't even need to know about this. The Psychic Cataclysm, we talked about that, right? That's the G20 thing for people who have Xavier. It's for like 500 people. Like I honestly, or less. I don't even know how many people have Xavier right now, but I know that only like 1,000 people have even entered City or finished City. So it's just absolutely crazy. So we have a Silver Sable Battle Pass coming. The Age of Annihilus is starting, and then we have the Harbinger Quasar stuff, week 1 and month 1 starting tomorrow as well. And then we're going to be talking about Stolen Thunder, which is the Bio G20 leaderboard event, and then Red Justice is the same we already had with this Alliance weekly event. And I do want to talk about that very briefly because I still have a day. I'm recording this on Saturday, so I have a little bit more time left on the milestone, and I think that it is possible to get to milestone 19. I think that maybe, yeah, I still have a lot of points here that I haven't really cleared on my alliance because I don't know, maybe we're a bit lazy. We should be able to get this one anyways. Milestone 20, I don't even know if that's free to play possible. Maybe it is if you like do everything to the T, but it looks pretty far away. So you might be able to get 2 Armory 20 orb fragments, and that's probably what I would expect for this coming Red Justice as well, unless they move the the milestone numbers. But other than that, so some things that I want to talk about is that the Intel store is opening up on Monday, of course. So those that you've been collecting from the, also don't forget there is this make sure that you're clicking on it because it doesn't show when you've actually cleared the milestone. So like if you look over here, like you actually have to click on it before it even highlights and lights up. So make sure you're going in here to claim this stuff and not forgetting to do that because it might end and you forget that you didn't claim this stuff. So make sure you're doing that. We don't know what the prices, at least as of recording this, I don't know what the prices are going to look like for G20 minis, which is probably what you're going to want to do. We're going to do a video on Monday when the store goes live tomorrow, just to kind of go over it and kind of tell you guys what the priorities should be, or what I think the priorities should be for buying that. It's most likely going to be gear tier 20 minis, but I do want to see what the costs of everything are as well. So make sure that you're claiming all this stuff. Will we even clear this actually before it goes away? Raid battles? Okay, I hope we do. Anyways, that, and also there's the free login calendar, of course, which you should have been picking up as well. So the Intel Daily Gift, that's going to be running all week long as well for some additional stuff. So you can see here the character shards. The ones that I would expect to see in here would be the Vigilante characters. I think that's why they have the Harbinger trait on them as well. So that's kind of what I would expect there. Otherwise, we'll talk about the Harbinger stuff. Oh, actually, no, you know what? They already talked about it over here. So you may have already noticed that on the Vigilante, Thunderbolts and the next 2 teams will be part of this. I actually missed this. We've included Vigilante to make the content more player-friendly as you unlock the newest teams. We'll have more information on how these teams will be used in future vlogs. Okay, so we'll see whether or not Vigilante shows up in the Intel store or not. I should have read that first. So month 1, you're going to get points for spending Intel. This is really important to know that you cannot hoard. Well, I mean, we don't know how much you can hoard, but you do have to spend some of this anyways in order to get the weekly objectives, which is going to get you Quasar shards. So that's going to be pretty important. And then you need to make sure you're doing raids daily, and then campaign energy and spending gold. Now, we don't know how much that's going to cost. And that's something that we're going to need to see when the command center goes live for this come Monday. That's, again, going to be something that I'm going to be covering. Hopefully, I'll be staying up late enough to cover this on Monday nights so that we can do a video on that before I go to bed. And then premium objectives, there's going to be, of course, battling and raids with the new characters, and I think with yellow stars as well. So that's, at least they're kind of highlighting that the premium objectives is going to be ones that most players are not going to have. So those kind of spender milestones. Quasar shards and Intel, and then more specifically week 1, there Isn't that not the same? There's like oh, sorry, another one, I guess. They're just both starting at the same time for battling in raids, and then there's going to be to earn intel, and then using the thunderbolts and raids, and then earn and open an armory 20 orb. Now, usually this stuff is pretty easy, but what I would do is at least save 1 or 2 armory 20 orb orbs to open during this time starting Monday, and I think that would be the easiest thing to do. And then you can see the additional kind of points here. The premium object, this is the 567 yellow Victoria hand, and then the Shadow King diamond orb fragments, those are paid stuff because that's going to be involved in the Stolen Thunder event as well, which we're going to be talking about here about G20 minis. Now, I do want to talk about the leaderboard for here. Let's go into full screen mode really quick just so it makes it a little bit easier. So we can see some of the rewards that are going to be given for this event. And you can see that there's these Thunderbolt Diamond or fragments for anyone in the top 4,000. Also, you might know from the previous leaderboards that basically if you're not in the top 4,000 that you're going to be getting quite significantly less. So it's 80 here in the top 4,000, and it jumps to like 105 actually, in fact, for 3,500. But then when you go like beyond 4,000 down here, you're getting 40-40. So it goes from 80-80 to 40-40. It's pretty crazy. So if you're really trying to push this, you're going to want to get in the top 4,000. The problem is that for this event anyways, there isn't a whole lot of ways for free-to-play players to really be able to push this. You're going to get some Armory 18 fragments, which is completely garbage as well. This should be Armory 19 at the very least. Like, what are they even thinking about? The rewards for the events are pretty lackluster, in my opinion. And some other things I want to note about this table, this is the Stolen Thunder event table, that there is no purple ions in this table. Once again, I'm pretty sure we covered this 2 weeks ago for the last leaderboard. There is no purple ions. I'm not blind. Am I blind? Looking through the column, I see T2 level 1, I see T2 level 1, I see T2 level 4, 5, and level 3. Purple ions is way the fuck down here, down at like milestone 17, which you're not going to be able to get to. I highly doubt it. So it's kind of crazy that we've gone from getting regular event purple ions to getting 0, pretty much. And this was the case 2 weeks ago as well, and I pointed it out then too. I just want to point it out again because it seems that they're really not giving us ways to get purple ions other than where you're getting it in the game, which I guess is from Alliance War. There's really almost like none left otherwise, which is absolutely insane. I guess there's Battle World when it comes back like once a month, but which maybe is coming soon as well. But this is just kind of crazy. I guess Battle World should be in like a week's time, right? Like next week. But it's just absolutely crazy that purple ions have kind of dried up, essentially. So you're going to get points for this event by just doing your daily arena, and it's going to force you to play arena. If you're one of those people like me who haven't really been doing that, you're going to need to do that. And then if you want to spend money, I guess there's the Shadow King Diamond Orb that you can get. But it's a pretty easy event, you know, almost so that it kind of kills my videos, I'll be honest. And so for arena, this is me after a week. Like, I barely do my arena attacks. I do it for the RTA pass. And sometimes I don't even play the battle. I just kind of quit or I lose or whatever to get the points. I haven't really been moved much in the last week. So maybe I'm just lucky with my arena shard. But with this event, you are going to want to pay attention to your rankings. Now, we don't know exactly how many of these orb fragments that we're going to be getting upon the arena payouts. The last time that we had an arena event was quite some time ago. And I do have the payout structure from that. We're going to take a look at that right now with the numbers, if it even makes sense, honestly. You know, take some of this with a grain of salt just because we just don't know some of these things. But anyway, Stolen Thunder, 7-day event. It's literally just the arena payouts and whether or not you want to spend money on a Shadow King Diamond Orb. That's the only way to get points. There is no free-to-play way, like to spend energy, to spend cores. There's none of that. So they're kind of really killing these leaderboard events. And I think there's going to be a lot of freaking ties once again, like 2 weeks ago or the last payout, right? Which had to do with why was it tied? Oh, Pocket Dimension, right? Fallen Dimension. That's why it was tied. This is going to tie again because anyone who gets the same kind of arena payouts, which is flat to some degree, is they're all going to get the same. There's no variance or differentiation to the payout structure, to the points that there's going to be a lot of ties. So we're going to see how that goes as well. 110,000 for the final. We're not going. I don't even know why I'm talking about that anymore. 3,500 free claims. Probably going to be 500 daily points. That's what it usually is. 0 purple ions. Again, I don't know what Scopely's thinking about over there. So this was the arena rank payout structure for Guardian in the Alpha Flight team. This was like a year ago. I don't know if there was an arena payout since then. I'm trying to think. Was there one for the Illuminati? There might have been, but I couldn't find it in my events table. I'll be honest. Maybe it got lost somewhere, but I couldn't find any other events that actually gave an arena rank payout since then. And I'm trying to think, honestly, I don't know off the top of my head in the new era since Annihilators if we've even had one like this. So this might have been the last time. But this is what it was then. Okay, so it was the same if you were in the top 10. That was 3,750 orb fragments all the way to the top 10, and then top 20 was 3,500, and then top 50 was 3,000. Ignore the colors. We're not going to really bother with that this time around, but I just wanted to highlight the differences, I suppose, of, being top 500, top 250, and then, being in the top 50 plus or better is kind of the sweet spot here for these events. Now, in terms of the contents of these orbs, they are going to contain G20 gear minis. And so I kind of think that this is probably likely that they're going to use. Why? Because they don't want to give away too many of these G20 orb fragments. And if you look at the points as well, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. They don't want you to get too many as well, right? Like if you look at the chart here, let's go back to full screen mode for a second. Like you can see on the left-hand side over here, that the points are very low. Like milestone 13, 14, 15, etc. Like these are pretty low numbers, 13 and 14 especially, 19,000 and 26,000. So I think that the amount of orb fragments in my chart kind of lines up with the expectations that is probably going to happen. Because if you took, let's say, the top 50, 3,000 times 7, right, times 7 days of payouts, that's 21,000. And milestone 13 was 19,000. So I think that that's probably accurate if you add the free claims and things like that. And that would also be about just under 10 or 10 or so, depending on your payout of these orbs. And if they contain even a couple of G20 orbs or G20 minis, that's still going to be like, 30 plus G20 minis for the event, which I guess is better than nothing, right? In terms of what we're getting. But in terms of, it's probably going to look like this. And I don't really like the fact that there's going to be very little variance. If you're in the top 50 and you're getting a top 50 payout every single day for 7 days, there's probably still going to be a ton of people that are also doing the same and are also going to be tied. And so this makes a pretty big problem, once again, that Scopely doesn't know how to deal with leaderboards and tiebreakers. I called this the last time, and I'm calling it again now. It might not be as bad as Fallen Dimension in terms of the amount of ties, but it's still not going to be very great. This is probably one of the worst event tables that I've ever done, just because there's very little input. And there's not a ton to talk about, I'll be honest. But just know that you're going to need to do the best you can. If you're top 50 in Arena, you're probably going to land in milestone 13. If you're doing better than that, you could get and squeeze into milestone 14. But in terms of the difference of what you're going to get out of that, it's honestly doesn't really matter. Some blue ions. It's like fuck all. Honestly, it's fuck all. The rewards here suck for the events. It's all about the leaderboard, I guess, and we'll see where that ends up happening. Most likely, though, that if you do want a chance at the top 4,000 leaderboard, you're going to want to splash out some money. That's just how it is. It seems that if you're willing to spend like $5 or $10, that actually does push you a fair bit up, because I think that there's very few spenders these days. Like there's not enough spenders that gets you into the top. Sorry, that keeps you out of the top 4,000. I should say there's probably about like 1,000 heavy spenders, but I don't think there's 4,000 light spenders anymore. Like I think that if you do well in Arena, if you score in the top 10. In your Arena ranking and you're willing to spend 10 or 15 bucks, like I think that could probably get you into the top 4,000. Honestly, I'm not advocating for spending by any means. I'm just saying that I think that the player population has dwindled enough in this game these days that if you want to do a little bit of light spending, that there you are, that you can actually push up a little bit more. But hey, we'll see what ends up happening on Monday. We're also going to be doing a video, like I said, about the Intel store. We're going to take a look at that and do a deep dive, and then I'm going to post that up before I go to bed Monday night. For me, anyway, Monday night for me, Monday afternoon for you guys, or whatever, early evening maybe. So that's it for now. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Prep your Arena squad and get ready to do battle for 7 days, I guess. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.